Hi science fans, it's Miss McNamara here. Did you love that video of planes? Have you seen it before? If you haven't, you need to watch it as soon as you can. It's fantastic. And I thought it was a little bit of a teaser into our science lesson today. Because everyone, you are going to be part of a fantastic air show, but we have a slight problem. We don't have any planes. This is your task today. Your task is to make 3 different types of planes, and let me help you. You will need paper, coloured pens and coloured pencils if you want to decorate your planes, scissors in case you want to add bits to the plane, and maybe some stickers if you have any of those spare, just to jazz it up a little bit. Now I'm going to teach you a design of an aeroplane. Listen carefully, follow my instructions, see if you can do it on your own without anyone's help. Remember, you can press pause at any time if you're not sure what to do. Let's start by folding the paper in half. Then unfold it again and lay it flat. Fold down the top 2 corners. Try to line up each corner so that it reaches all the way to the fold in the middle. Now stop and take a look. You should have a piece of paper that looks like a square at the bottom with 2 triangles on top. If that's what you've got, then let's keep going. Find the outer corner of each triangle and fold the triangle over so that the corner touches the middle fold too. Close up your paper and flip it over. Fold down each side just about halfway to make wings. There's one. And now the other. Voila! You have a paper aeroplane. Let's see how it flies. How does a paper aeroplane fly? Well, it's all about the forces. And in fact, the forces that make a paper aeroplane glide are the same ones that keep a real aeroplane flying high in the sky. And there are a couple of different forces on your aeroplane that help to make it fly. First, you need a force that creates forward movement. That's called thrust. For real aeroplanes, thrust is created by engines which make the plane go forward by taking in a bunch of air and then pushing out the back really fast. But your aeroplanes are made out of paper, no engines, so where are you going to get the thrust? That's right, from you. When you throw a paper aeroplane, you're providing the thrust by pushing the plane forwards. After that initial push, your plane doesn't get any more thrust. It just glides, which is one of the reasons it eventually falls to the ground. We don't just want our plane to go forward, we want it to float on the air. So we need another force to get our aeroplane flying higher. This one's called lift, and it comes from the shape of the plane. Try making an unfolded piece of paper fly. It's hard. As your plane moves, the wings push air out of the way. When your aeroplane wings slice through the air, they create lift. But the air has to go somewhere, so it quickly gets out of the way by moving up and over the wing. And the faster that air moves over the wing, the less time it has to push down on it. So the air above the wing is pushing on the plane less than the one below it. This force makes the plane go up. A big aeroplane needs more lift to get off the ground than a small aeroplane. That's why bigger planes need bigger wings. Now your paper aeroplane won't have much lift because the wings are too thin, so it needs a lot of thrust. so you have to throw it hard. Ready? There are many different types of paper planes that you can design. I want you to create 3 of them. Once you've created them, make sure that you've decorated them and given them a special name, ready for the Grand Air Show tournament. Paper planes investigation. So now I want you to think about an investigation you could do. You have to decide what you're going to change and what you're going to test. What things could you change? What will you be testing? So that means you need to think about the question for your investigation. All investigations have questions or an aim that you're going to test to try and find out the results and the answer. Here are some ideas to think about. You might like to make 3 planes using different sorts of paper. Sugar paper, normal A4 paper and perhaps newspaper, and see if having those 3 different types of paper makes a difference to how far the plane will go. Alternatively, you could make 3 different planes of 3 different sizes. See if that makes a difference to how far the plane will travel. Another idea is that you could make 3 different types of planes. There are so many different plane designs that you can get access to. I will give you some ideas and put it on Google Classroom for you to look at. Remember that when you do your experiment, you've got to make the test fair. So how will you make it a fair test? Listen to these questions, have a think about the answers. Does it matter how you throw the plane? Does it matter how many times you throw it? Does it matter who throws it? It's very important that you think about these questions. It does matter how you throw it, how many times, and who the person is, making sure that it's fair. So you'll need to find a starting position for when you throw that plane. You also need to make sure that you are the only one throwing the plane. You need to throw them in exactly the same way to make it fair. Also, how will you record your results? When you've thrown each of your 3 planes and you want to find out how far they travel, how are you going to measure it? At school, we would probably use rulers, a metre stick, to measure the distance in centimetres or metres if it's a really good plane. But at home you might not have these equipment, so what could you use instead? You could use your feet, count how many feet your plane has travelled. You could use your handspans or any other equipment that you have in your house to find out which one can go the furthest distance. How will you record the results? Could you use a table or a chart? Once you've completed the experiment and you've thrown all your 3 planes and you've measured them and written down all the results, the last part of the experiment and what scientists are most famous for is finding out why. So I want you to look at your plane, the one that travelled the furthest distance, and see if you can think of scientific reasons why the plane has gone the furthest. Once you've done that, also look at the other 2 planes and think about why they didn't go quite as far. Hi everyone, thanks so much for listening to my science video. I hope you enjoyed the project and I'm really excited to see your videos of your planes flying around, and also I'm interested to find out what conclusions you made and the results of your experiment. Hope you had loads of fun and I'll see you soon. Take care.